What's up, guys? This is Eric, sweating absolute balls out here in Screep's workshop in BFE. I think it's about 1,072 degrees outside, but Screep and I are going to try to power through a number of videos because we don't get to see each other as often anymore. So every trip to the workshop has to be utilized to its maximum potential. So the first thing we're going to work on is a spear-based walking stick. Let me tell you why. I am obsessed with stick-based martial arts. I like sticks of all lengths and sizes. I just like to practice with different ones. Well, lately, quarterstaffs and spears have been kind of like number one on my play around in the backyard radar. And so I had this idea of trying to incorporate a spear-based quarterstaff, just meaning a quarterstaff with a weighted metal tip. Not an aggressive spear point, but maybe like a rounded or tapered metal tip, you know, that I could then incorporate and use like a spear. But I also wanted something lightweight and something that looked like a hiking walking stick that wouldn't look out of place if I were just taking a walk in the hills with it. So I got this 1-inch diameter piece of rattan, and rattan is basically, it's like bamboo, but it's solid all the way through, and it's really strong for its weight. So I thought it would make a really good lightweight stick that I knew would be durable. And then I didn't want a really aggressive metal tip on the end, but I wanted something with weight and something that was either tapered or rounded so that I could kind of use it like a force multiplier if I was jabbing with the end of the staff. So I went online and I bought this steel, I think it's about a 4 to 6 ounce steel butt cap for a spear, just like the counterweight butt cap on the back end of a spear. So this walking stick is essentially going to be a spear upside down with no tip. Instead of a spearhead, there will be a rubber shoe on this end for walking, and on the top will be the butt cap of the spear. And that way I'll be able to use it like a quarterstaff for blocking and striking, but then I will also be able to employ it as a spear. So we need to turn down this 1-inch diameter shaft so that it will accept this slightly, or maybe it's also 1 inch, it's just tapered. It's a tapered steel socket. So we need this taper of this to match. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First, what I want to do is find out how deep the socket is, because we only want to taper this stick up to that point. So I've got a smaller dowel rod here. I'm going to insert that and then mark it with a Sharpie so I know exactly where the mouth of that is going to be. Pardon me. And then I'm going to transfer that measurement over here onto my quarterstaff. And what I'm going to do is transfer it in a number of spots so that I can then go around and connect the dots. Can you see all right, Screep? Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this in, a few different spots. Make sure I'm lined up on the top. And then I'll just draw a circle all the way around. And then we'll know how far down we need to taper it. As far as how much around at the end we need to taper, this is a pretty straight angle. It doesn't round off in either way, so it's going to be really easy. Screep will just keep the angle flat. But I'm going to put this on the end, right here, so I know that that's the same size. These are pretty flush. Okay, so down here it only needs to be slightly smaller than the diameter of the open mouth of this. As far as the end, we're going to have to measure the thickness of these walls and the thickness of the neck. And then we are going to subtract, hold on, Screep, I know he's pointing at what I need to do next, but hold on, I'm going to have to cut to him because he's the tool expert. But essentially we're going to have to measure the thickness of the wall of the socket and then the thickness of the neck at the depth that we measured earlier on the dowel rod, and then subtract the combined thickness of the two walls from the overall thickness of the neck. That is going to let us know how big the tip of this shaft has to be to fit perfectly in there. So I'm going to take a cut, go get a glass of water because I'm on fire right now, and then Screep is going to show us how to measure the thicknesses of the walls with a caliper sort of instrument tool. We'll be back. All right, Screep, master of tool usage. We are going to figure out exactly how tapered the tip of the rattan staff needs to be to accept our steel spear butt cap over here in Screep's hand. Now the way he's going to do that is we've marked our depth. This is our inside depth of the hollow space, right? Inside that butt cap. So we're going to use that on the outside of the same socket.
There we go.
We're going to use that measurement on the outside of the same socket to figure out how far down the socket we need to measure the width of the neck.
Right there.
Okay, the diameter of the outside is...
Right about 908. We'll call it 910.
All right, record the number, sir. And this is 0.91 of an inch. 91 hundredths of an inch. Okay. Now, we need to divide that number by 2.
455.
Okay, 455, and then subtract the width of one wall.
Which
So
is...
again, we're going to use the calipers.
60,000.
0.6. Screep's got his math face on.
There. That's the center.
All right.
Now we need to come...
Let me hold my shaft while you work the tip, Screep. It's pretty much working.
Yeah, close enough.
Percentage.
It's close enough for your projects.
Oh, dude, I eyeball everything.
It's close enough.
I eyeball
So,
everything.
just-
This is already way more exact. There's like a lot of boring numbers involved, and I would have just eyeballed it by now. So
Okay.
everything you're doing is super impressive to me.
Take the pen and fill in the pencil. Alright, that is
Cool.
what we need to take it down to.
Oh, nice. Okay, hold on. Let me try to focus on that. Yes, look at that. So now we know what portion, quick moving, of the rattan needs to come off. And then we'll probably just have to like play it by ear when we get there. Eyeballs and ears. That's what we use in the shop.
Now I'm gonna take this. I had some glasses at one point.
They're on your head, man.
So
Belt Sanders. Colonel Belt. Never mind. All right, what is this beast?
this is a 4-inch by 36-inch belt sander.
Nice. This is going to remove wood a lot faster, eh?
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot easier. What?
That's pretty good.
Hammer it on.
Yeah,
That'll,
see it.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah, turn that shit off. Okay.
Oh my god.
Woo! It is so hot. It's got to be over 100 degrees in here.
Absolutely.
So
Normally I have a fan on, but you can't hear anything.
we've got this tapered down as far as we need to. So now we're going to put some epoxy in there. We're going to hammer it on, and then we're going to drill it and cross pin it. You ready for this?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, we're not going to drill yet.
No light bulb.
Mix up some epoxy, snapping the tip off some epoxy, squirting it in the plastic, Scrape's mixing some epoxy. I don't need a whole bunch. Just enough to get it painted on around this here shaft tip. Alright, our epoxy's good and stirred. We're gonna coat the tip of our shaft in sweet golden epoxy honey. Alright, Scrape is forcing the tip into the socket. Freshly epoxied, and now he's going to use a scrap 2x4 to bang it on there good and tight.
Whoa, what happened there?
What did happen there, Scrape?
I missed the hole.
Wanna go all the way through the other side?
Not yet. Oh, maybe I did.
Nice. Now we're driving a nail through that hole to act as a cross pin, just as an additional layer of attachment between the head and the shaft. I don't think the epoxy would ever fail. I don't even think friction would ever fail. But I think Scrape and I just kind of enjoy over-engineering things. Finally found something I excel at. Ooh, that toasts up kind of nice.